Hi, my name is Crystal Bowers, and I'm the Customer Service Lead here at the William & Mary Financial Aid Office. We want to thank you for taking the time to review our presentation. First, we want to tell you a little bit about what we do. Our office determines need-based financial aid for students using both the FAFSA and CSS profile applications. We review appeals due to unforeseen circumstances from the information reported on the FAFSA, confirm enrollment requirements to ensure that students remain eligible for the funding that has been offered, certify federal and private loans, and provide some budgeting guidance to students. To determine financial need, we use a cost of attendance budget that is made up of direct and indirect cost. Direct costs would be tuition and fees, and in some cases, housing and food. For students residing off campus, there's still an allowance for housing and food in the cost of attendance budget. Books and supplies, transportation, and miscellaneous expenses would be considered indirect cost. Financial aid will split between fall and spring semesters. Once aid disperses, it will first pay towards the bill. If a student has a credit as a result of their aid, that credit will be refunded so that the student can use those funds towards indirect cost. To apply for financial aid, a student will need to complete a FAFSA. This application can be completed on www.studentaid.gov by entering William & Mary's code 003705. First-year students and transfer students will also need to complete the CSS profile. This application can be completed on www.collegeboard.org, code 5115. The way that we determine the financial need is by taking the cost of attendance budget minus the student aid index determined by FAFSA minus any outside scholarship or resources that the student is receiving. It's important that a student notifies our office of any outside resources or scholarships that they may be receiving so that we can determine if there is an impact to their eligibility for need-based aid. If so, we would first apply the scholarship to any unmet need and then replace federal work study, subsidized loan, or lastly grants to make room for the scholarship. A student cannot receive over the cost of attendance. Financial aid packages can be made up of grant, federal work study, and/or loans. In order to fill the gap from what the student has been offered to the cost of attendance, students or parents can apply for a private loan with the lender of their choice. Parents can also apply for a Parent Plus loan. The bursar's office also has a tuition payment plan. You can find out more information about the tuition payment plan under student accounts on our website. All students can work regardless if they were offered federal work study. Job opportunities may be posted on Tribe Careers, department websites, or flyers across campus. There are also job fairs that will be posted on the website. For additional questions regarding student employment, families can reach out to studentemploy@wm.edu. Some important things to remember is that students are required to apply for financial aid each year by completing the FAFSA application. Eligibility is not guaranteed. If a student is asked to submit additional documentation, it's important that they do so as soon as possible so that our office can determine a student's aid eligibility. It's also important to note that continuing students will not receive their aid notification until after spring grades are posted. Here's our contact information. Our office is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are closed from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. for lunch. Please make sure that students and parents have their own individual passphrase when contacting our office. We will not be able to provide general information if the passphrase is not provided. Information about passphrase can be found on our website. This concludes our presentation. We encourage families to contact our office with any questions that they may have, and we thank you for your time.